We're now ready to do the final processing of the image in Photoshop. So I'm going to open the image into Photoshop using the workflow options that we've got down there, sRGB, 8 bits per channel, into Photoshop. So this is a full-size image as shot by my camera. Now there is very little, well, I don't need to do anything to the image. I don't want to do any spot removal or anything. There's only, I just want to crop the image. I'd like to put a little white border around the image just so it differentiates it from the rest of the screen when it's projected. There won't be any panning or zooming applied to this image. It's just going to be full size on the screen. The last little bit of sharpening to be applied once I've cropped it to the right size. I want to save it to the folder that I've created for this size of image and then close the image. Most of what I've just said can be recorded as an action, so I don't have to repeat this every single image that comes through. I can apply as an action. So I'll be running through the process of doing that. So the first thing we need to do is crop it to the dimensions required. So using the crop tool, in here we need to define the size of the crop that we want. So it's going to be 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. Okay. So no matter where I move the crop, the resulting image will be exactly those dimensions. Okay. So I'd like to virtually fill the screen with this crop. So let's move it to about there. And then to apply the crop, just press the little tick button there. Okay. So there we have our crop. We can check the size of the image by just going to Image, Image Size, and there it is, 1920 by 1080 pixels. It's exactly the right size. We could save those dimensions so we don't have to continually typing that in by going to this little drop down here and saying Save Preset. And it's already given us a suggested title. I'm going to say OK on that because it makes sense. 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels high. OK. So next time we go into here, let's just change that to something else. Okay. Next time we go into there, we have our 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels, and it just populates it automatically. Okay. So I don't want to crop that because I've already cropped it. Don't crop. Okay. To apply a stroke around here, we need to use the rectangular marquee tool. But this is the start of something that we can repeat on every single photograph. So I'm going to create an action. Now this is the actions palette I've got open here. If you can't find it, it's under Windows, Actions there. I've already got one open. These are all default ones that have been created. These are a set of actions that I've already created. But I'm going to create a new set, and this will appear as under here, and I'm going to call that Pictures to XE Projects. And within that we can create an action. So that is it's like a folder, and we're going to create subfolders of actions inside there. And this little icon here is to create a new action. Because that's selected, it will become a subfolder of that. And I'm going to call this 1920 by 1080 px. I'm going to record that. Okay, now the little record button has been highlighted, so whatever I do from now on will be recorded in this action. So the first thing is I'm going to use the rectangular marquee tool outside the image, drag to the other side of the image. It's fully encompassed, and I'm going to apply a stroke. So if you go to Edit, Stroke, it's a 2 pixel width, and it's going to be a white. If you press on the little white button there, you can, whatever color you wish can go into there. Well, I'm going to leave it at white. And the location needs to be on the inside of the line. You don't want it on the outside because you won't get anything. If you put it on the center, you'll only get half a pixel. So on the inside, blending mode and everything, all like that. Okay. And if I just deselect, Control D, you'll see that we've got a very thin, tasteful little white line. And of course, you can see in the actions, we've got it's being recorded. There's the only other thing I want to do now is to sharpen it slightly. So you'd normally magnify, and I'm not going to magnify into 100%. We can see a little bit in the filter. So I'm going to go to Filter, Sharpen. I'm going to use the Smart Sharpen. The only ones you should really use are Smart Sharpen and Unsharp Mask. The other ones are rather blunt ways of doing this. So here's our 100% view. We can see you only need small settings on these. This is what I think I'll need for this particular image. That's the before, that's the after. You can maybe see a little bit more effect around this area here. So before, after, with these settings here. Don't want it any more than that. We've already applied some pre-sharpening in the raw converter. So click OK. That's been applied. Smart Sharpen's been applied in there. All I want to do now is save the image. So it's File, Save As. Tell it where I want to save it in the SD folder there, D drive, Pictures to exe. It's on Skomer Island and it's Pictures 1920 by 1080 pixels. I'm not going to change any of the title. I'm just going to say Save, Maximum Quality, OK, and then stop. Then close the image, which records as a close there. I'm going to now stop the action. Now if I go back to Bridge, find two other similar images, I'm going to open them up, select all, open images, so we've got the two images opening there. Just go to the crop tool. We've already got the crop tool selected there. I'm just going to drag that a little bit there, apply. I'm now going to just click on the 1920 with 1080 pixel action, press the play button, and that will be the whole action has just been applied to that image. I've got the crop tool here. I'm just going to just do a little bit of tweaking there. Okay, press the play button, and it's been the same thing's been happened to that image there. If we go to Windows Explorer, click in here, we can see we have our images have been saved to our folder, and the dimensions are 1920 by 1080, 1920. Okay, so that is a quick way of sorting out images for your project.